What's up, guys? It's Boondocks here, and right now I'm going to be showing my explosive Axton build. And I know what you're thinking. Boondocks, you already showed us an explosive Axton build where you just spam Norfleets all day. And yeah, that's kind of true. Fortunately, I'm bringing you something a little bit different this time. The way this guy works is if you don't feel like just being that dumbass that sits in the back and spams Norfleets, and yes, you'll wipe everything out that way, but it gets boring, and you play this game to have fun. So why do anything that's boring? This one uses explosives, so naturally, we're looking at torque all through the list. We got the double penetrating Unkept Herald, which, if you've watched a lot of my other videos, you'll know it's one of my favorite weapons in the game. Then we have the Blaster and an Ogre. The Ogre drops out of Tiny Tina's DLC, and you could get the Unkept Herald from Torques. Don't really remember where to get the Blaster. And then, of course, you have your Norfleet for shields. Rocking an antagonist again, just for the high damage reduction. Which, as you know, if you've watched my other guys, I love that damage reduction. Homing Stormfront. Now, the thing with this Homing Stormfront is I really want to put one on this character. I want that Slag O negative or something O negative, just in case I'm really getting peppered from all the sides, just to be able to get some of that healing back, because otherwise you have to wait on Axton's passive healing, and that gets a little bit trickier. I then also have my legendary soldier class mod. Now this is great for multiple reasons. It gives you the passive damage increase, the fire rate increase, and the cooldown increase. Because the way this Axton works, you rely on having your turrets up as much as possible, so that way they can just spam slag all day for you. Then if you're going to be doing the explosive build like I have here, you might as well grab the explosive elemental relic. If you're having issues with keeping the slag up and you want to have the towers come up more, feel free to pick up another elemental relic that has a cooldown reduction. And if you go that route, then feel free to mix in some of that element into this build. This build's very flexible if you need to switch out one of these weapons for, say, a conference call in order to kill flying enemies. It's very easy to do that any way you want. So let's move on to it. Starting over here in the Gorilla Tree, because it's where we actually put the most points. Sentry, just to increase the duration of your turret mostly, and the shots fired per burst. Honestly, the damage from the turrets is negligible in the grand scheme of things. The reload speed is amazing on Axton. It's the whole purpose of the Norfleet build, is the fact that you can just have so much reload. You can spam them all day. Willing, the shield recharge and recharge delay, that's just an all-around good 5 points. And honestly, you need to max out most of this lower tier, because these two pieces, the Grenadier and Crisis Management, not really worth it, because you don't want your shields depleted, and extra grenades don't really need it once you have them all maxed out. And furthermore, if you gib, it's never an issue. Onslaught, you know I love movement speed. Movement speed is so much fun. When you get that kill and you just start flying all over the level, plus you get the increased damage, so it's all around good. Volley adds on that extra explosive damage. We are going for explosives now, aren't we? And then Able, just to get that extra health regen whenever you start doing damage, helps you stay alive. The main reason you want to put all these points into the Gorilla Tree, though, is because what we really need is double up. Has that second gun on the saber turrets, which then allows for the slagging bullets. That's going to be our main source of slag. And the nice thing about the turret is that it will slag absolutely every enemy for you and keep them slagged for the entire length of the turret, which is a pretty good amount since we have 10 points into Sentry. Moving over to Gunpowder Tree, we have impact for the increased damage from your guns. The melee damage is obviously not needed. Just toss over 1 point into expertise. It helps you with the swap speed and the aim speed. I mean, you already getting the bonus from the class mod, so why not take full advantage of it. Metal Storm is amazing. Once you get that first kill, you can just keep rolling through. It especially synergizes well with the Ogre, since the Ogre's speed, as it increases, you're just throwing so much damage downrange that it's unbelievable. Steady will the increase the rocket damage, grenade damage actually, will increase your explosive damage. The longbow turret is absolutely necessary for this. It allows you to place your turret very far away, and when you add that with Maglock from Survival Tree, you can place them on almost any surface, ridiculous distance away, and they'll just rain slag hell down on your enemies. Do or Die gives you that increased rocket launcher damage and grenade damage during Fight for Your Life. It's just to make sure that you get up. You're going to try to have your turret out as much as possible, so take a Battlefront with you. Over here, we're going to take Healthy in preparation, just to increase our shields and health by a pretty good deal, and you're going to have that 4% health regen when your shields are full. So now we're going to be regenning health almost all the time. Then we'll move down for Quick Charge, help get our shields back up to full whenever we get those kills. Phalanx Shield is just to help make our turret survive a little bit longer, and then Maglock in order to stick it to the ceilings. Now, you can move some points out from Healthy in preparation and spread them out so that you only have 5 and 3 here and 2 here, 4 and 1, 1 and 4, and then put another 5 points in a last-ditch effort. The reason you would do this is this build is really made to make you more of a tank. So as a frontline fighter, sometimes you're going to be going down since you're not going to be spamming double penetrating Uncapped Herald with a grog nozzle like Salvador or something, or having that constant heal that you can get if you're playing Krieg. So you might go down, in which case last ditch effort will definitely help you get back up. So pretty much that's all there is. The whole point of this is to just try to do as much damage, have as much survivability as possible, and slag all your enemies with your gun turret. Going back to the weapons real quick though, I'm taking both a Kerr Blaster and an Ogre. If you're wondering why, the Kerr Blaster does a lot more damage, and it also has like a secondary effect. After it first hits, it will do the damage, and then it'll explode doing damage again. This is really nice, except for that second explosion can actually harm you. Whereas weapons like the double penetrating Uncapped Herald and the Ogre, they just do the bonus damage when they initially hit. So with that being said, if enemies are charging at you, or there's a large group of enemies, I recommend the Ogre. If someone's a little bit further off and trying to take cover, the Kerr Blaster will be able to take them out for you. So let's go try this against some of the bandits here in the Bandit Stronghold. This is typically a very good place to test out builds because it has a lot of enemies. You pretty much know where they are, and it'll help you just go all around. So as you can see, they are just getting burnt down pretty easily, and you have massive fire rate. Part of the reason you also want to stick your turret on the ceiling as much as possible is since it's up there, it's actually harder for the enemies to reach it. There you go. Just let the turret slag everything for you and keep moving. Look, the turret's damage really isn't that bad, but it's nothing to write home about either. Sometimes you almost wish they do kill your turret, so that way you get it back quick enough for the next section. So now you can wait, or, especially if you're in single player, just switch over to a magic missile, and you can just go bombs away again. Now multiplayer, you're never really going to be waiting around, and sometimes magic missiles are good too. I like the homing Stormfront just to be able to toss out that extra explosive damage and drop down shields.
I can
I might have just said explosive damage. I clearly meant electric damage for dropping down the shields. Okay, so if you notice, he took cover, so now you can bust out your blaster and shoot it over there. Because even if, as it hits the wall, splash damage will be able to kill him for you while he's ducked. It's a nice little trick to be able to pull against your enemies. They think they're safe. Far from it. Magic Missile can be very helpful though, just to make sure you get that slag going out all the time. But with the amount of explosive damage increase that you get on Axton, coupled with the slag from your turrets, and just the general tankiness of his overall build, the sustainability just from natural passives, he can be very devastating. Right there, I used the turret's shield, stood inside of it in order to take that hit, because I knew that when I stopped moving, that the enemy was going to throw his axe or try to jump up and slam the ground, which is definitely the most devastating ability that they use. So you can use the turret's shell as a temporary shield and keep yourself safe.
You think you ought to be here? You're going down!
I mean, you can honestly just tear through enemies. If you notice, the ogre actually has a ramp-up time before it just starts firing full crimp. But once you get used to it, you learn to kind of stand back a little bit first. Like I said, yes, you will go down with this build. You're not the full total insta-heal tank like, let's say, Salvador. I mean, if you really need that get out of jail free card, feel free to use the Norfleet. It will get you the kills still. You'll still have that massive reload time. It's right here because he's not going to be running at me, or at least other enemies are going to be coming at me. I decided I'm going to use the Blaster for a little bit. The trick with the Blaster is that splash damage can be pretty deadly to you. Okay, when they get in really close like this, I recommend actually busting out with your Uncapped Herald. When they're further away and grouped, medium range, for instance, use your Ogre. Long range, Blaster. Close range, Uncapped Herald. It's pretty basic, and once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. I don't actually play this all that often, so I'm a little bit rusty on it. This is originally how I leveled up my Axton, was using different explosives. And I actually find it to be a lot of fun. And it has a pretty big risk reward to it, because if you get in close using the stronger weapon, the Blaster, you have the chance of killing yourself, just like with rockets. But it's not like the Norfleet where you can just magically kill all the enemies while looking the other way. Well, let's just finish off these enemies, and then I'm feeling like it's a pretty good representation of what Axton can do. So again, just stick your turret up on the ceiling and let it go to town. The cool thing too is if the psychos get attracted to the turret, they'll just actually sit there for quite some time trying to jump up in the air and swing at it. And they'll just keep missing because they're retarded. And they'll fly all over the place, and then you can move in for an easy kill. So, this was my explosive Axton. He's a lot of fun. I actually enjoy him more than a few other classes that I've already shown. Just because you're spamming all day, but it's not that insta-kill spam. Hope you had fun. Good luck and peace out.